Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Sir Worldwide. And again, I want to thank my loyal subscribers. I want to talk about something that's going on right now, right? That maybe a lot of you people know about this already, right? If you're going to vote, and the election is coming up real soon, if you're going to vote, don't do a mail-in, okay? Go to the polls and vote. And the reason I'm saying this, a good friend of mine called me yesterday, actually, right, to tell. And this friend lives in one of our great cities, Chicago, and she drives a big mail truck delivering the mail. And as you know, our leader has fired the postmaster general and rehired his friend as a new postmaster general. And what she told me is that a lot of the supervisors have been forced out because there's a whole new thing going on to steal the election. Okay? These truck drivers are told, don't wait for the mail, just take off. And if you do wait, you'll be written up. After 3 write-ups, you're fired. So look, in all the chocolate cities, this is going on right now as we speak. So the mail-in ballots, forget about that. Go to the polls and vote. And tell everybody you know to go and vote. So this is something that, it's being done by this administration. And they're trying to keep it quiet, but it ain't quiet. It's out there right now. And I'm happy to be able to have a voice to let folks know what's going on. As you know, my friend Don is very knowledgeable about all these subjects we talk about. You know, what do you think about this, Don?
Oh, well, what it is, it's just, like he just said, it's another attempt to steal the election or create controversy to where they can defame and say that there's fraud in the mail-in ballots. The thing of it is, of the firing of the Postmaster General, and then there was an article that was released saying that the mail would be exponentially slowed down. They're doing things that will make sure that Trump or that guy has an opportunity to say things weren't right, things went awry, but then yet he's going to have his federal goons at the polling places to intimidate people, even though he says they just need somebody to oversee or overlook and make sure there's no fraud going on. But the mail-in ballots, he'll be able to say that if it wasn't processed, it wasn't done in a timely manner, and he's saying that votes can still be trickling in up until January 2021. So please go and vote. Go to the poll, stamp your thing. Okay, now there's a lot of unscrupulous activities with those voting machines also, because they can say there were computer glitches, they can say it was hacked or whatever. But the thing of it is, everybody's being hacked. You get hacked on your personal computer, you get hacked on your telephone, but please go in and show a physical presence and let them know that you're there for a change in this country, because we just can't do 4 more years of this. And if we do, we're going to see stuff that's going to be done that is just so over the top and so egregious and offensive toward who we are as the American public or people living in America. So go vote.
Yes, for sure. And another thing, as long as there is an unfair criminal justice system in America, us African Americans don't really belong here in America.
Exactly.
And now that we have this guy in the White House, and he's made it clear that he's totally against us being together. We are divided. This country is divided right now. The young people, they don't see black and white anymore. It's these old fogies that are holding on to this racial thing. We're one species. We're humans.
Right.
So it's like Here in America, we have a very large division between black and white citizens. The current U.S. president has solicited cooperation from what is called white supremacists, and they are emerging all over the country. So here is a great idea. Actually, since we got knees on our necks and our nuts, etc., the idea that was ignored in 1921
Yeah.
by Marcus Garvey. It's like he said that it would be great to have to form a big black republic in Africa. I have traveled to the motherland, and there are many countries in Africa that would love to have us return home. This is the year 2020. So here's a workable proposal for the current administration. Since y'all don't want us here, there are many of us who would be happy to go home.
Exactly.
Give each one of us, American adults, that wish to leave the U.S., just a measly $200,000. Because $200,000, you know how we could live?
We can live better and as kings and queens.
Yes, we could. So that's just something simple, right? Because as I said, I've been to the motherland, and I'll tell you, East Africa, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you've been...
I've been to Egypt.
Yes.
Which is basically East Africa.
That's right.
Look on the map.
Sure is. It's East Africa.
And there's no such thing as the Middle East.
Right.
Because if you have a Middle East, you have to have a Middle West.
That's right.
a Middle North and a Middle South.
Yes.
So that was just an imaginary boundary and just some verbiage that they put out there to keep us divided and confused.
Yeah, see, so Marcus Garvey, he had it right from the very beginning, right? And this, you know what? You can believe in Kanye West, or go to Wikipedia and check out some of these African Americans that are there, such as I mentioned earlier, Nat Turner,
Right.
And get this book, 2 books. I have both of them. I have Volume 1 and Volume 2. World's Great Men of Color by J.A. Rogers. I love those books. I don't lend books out. I keep them. I can let my children and grandchildren read them. But you need to study about us, okay? Because we invented a lot of things. They don't want to give us credit for nothing. The history books don't have no history about what we did.
Exactly.
That's so sad.
Well, they wrote the books, and they definitely didn't want us to be acknowledged for all the great achievement. All the things that go on in America was created and invented by us through the chattel system of slavery. And since we were property of whoever we were under, they had rights to just take our inventions, go get them patented, and they're still making still millions and millions of dollars to this very day. And that's just the way it is. That's the way it was. They rule by force. And so if you were in disagreement with them, as you know, they will do bodily harm to you and extinguish your life. Otherwise, just kill you so the truth won't be told. So there you have it. We can go on and speak of Marcus Garvey, who was a great innovator at the time back in the early 1900s. And he was opposed by W.E.B. Du Bois, that he was with the NAACP. Marcus Garvey created and founded the UNIA, which is the United Negro Improvement Agency. It was worldwide, it was recognized, and is still recognized in 125 countries. That includes China, it includes Russia, North America, South America, Australia. He did his work, he did his due diligence for people of African descendancy or melanation worldwide. And that kind of comes back to you, Sir Worldwide.
Yeah. Well, I don't like to talk about politics. I don't, But since it's time for an election, it's time to say a couple words that need to be heard, right? So the president of the United States is actually the world's leader. Whether you want to believe it or not, he's supposed to be the world's leader. But how are you going to be a world's leader and you can't respect women? His thing was just grab them by the snatch, right?
Right.
How are you going to do that? And how are you going to just turn your back on respect for other world leaders?
Right. Exactly.
And these summits that they have around the world, how are you going to say, I'm not going to attend?
Exactly.
And keep pointing fingers on everybody that's involved in this COVID thing. They're all the guys that are wrong, and I'm perfect. No, I'm gonna take it back to something that happened. It's going on 2 years now. I saw it on TV. I think a lot of you guys saw this. It was touched my heart. Look, this guy's a racist. Whether you want to believe it or not, a racist is a racist. Look, there was on the news channel, I saw these two little boys. They couldn't be no more than 4 years old each. One white kid and one black kid, right? They were about at least 60 feet from one another, with their fathers. They saw each other. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
They ran to each other and hugged each other.
Right.
Man, and they kept playing it over and over. You'll find it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this was the most beautiful thing I've seen. I've seen a lot of beautiful things, but that was so beautiful because these kids didn't know each other. They didn't care about the color of their skin. They embraced each other, and the news kept playing on all the channels over and over again. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. As I said earlier, these old folks want to hold on to racism. We're one thing. We're humans. Got nothing to do with the color of a person's skin. So this election is coming up, right? We want a world leader. We want to be proud of our world leader, okay? We want other countries to be proud of our world leader, okay?
Yes.
So go and vote.
Right. And as far as world leaders are concerned, sometimes you have to pick the lesser of the two evils. And what you were saying about everything is based on greed. It's not based on race. It's based on dominating the consciousness so they can move forward with their agenda for whatever monetary things are there. But they have no love, no compassion, no empathy for people outside of themselves that's not making the money. And then they have their own little special clubs, societies, fraternities. Okay, we have that. They have commandeered all the media. Out of 2,500 stations across the United States, only 6 corporations controls all the media, all your radio stations, all your television stations, all your news feeds, and we've been getting the same message over and over again based on their agenda. And within their agenda, you can call it propaganda. We're moving into a state. It's just like with the crisis we're in, the so-called pandemic, but it's a planned demic. And so they're in control of it. Okay, the coronavirus is man-made because there is a patent for the coronavirus, for HIV, for H1N1, for SARS, for Ebola. You can go to the Department of Patents and you will find it there. So apparently it's not something that evolved from people consuming bats or other exotic animals. And it wasn't spread by the Chinese. They might have been somewhere in there in the development of it. But the bottom line is we have to recognize they are, because of this pandemic, they are chipping away at our rights, about our freedoms. They're making us do whatever they want us to do. They have us like circus ponies. And, okay, jump through the hoop, jump over the barricade, now do this, now do that. And if you observe, you'll see that 1 minute they're contradicting themselves about, okay, how do we want them to act? And it goes from one extreme to the other, and you're being played like a ping pong. Yeah, what can you say? And if you're in your sense, you'll realize these are fear tactics. And when you're afraid, you'll do anything to come back to normalcy. They want to bring us to the new normal. We don't need a new normal, because the new normal will be whatever they say they want it to be for us. So definitely find out who you are, go into your inner strength, use discernment, and definitely use common sense. But what they've done and what they're doing, they're taking away our senses. You can't breathe. You can't speak. If you can't breathe, it impedes your hearing. It impedes your sight. It impedes your thinking. So with the whole mask situation, that's just one way of submission. I'm not condoning it or saying anything about S&M, but they make you wear a mask so you'll be submissive to your taskmaster. So now whoever the taskmaster is, they're telling us to dumb and suppress our senses, and that's what keeps us connected as a society. They're bringing isolation to where we can't be with each other, even though me and my brother here, we are in close proximity. We don't have any symptoms. They got us to where they are there. It's a catch-22, asymptomatic and symptomatic. Okay, if you have it, you have it. You cannot have it and not have it. You can, it's just like this. If you got a cold or a flu, you know you're going to be sniffling, sneezing, chills, and everything like that. And if you don't have it, you're going to be normal. So remember, just keep that in mind, and that's where we are.
Now, as my brother said, we're in close proximity right here, right? One reason is I've been telling you guys about aloe vera. I make sure that he got aloe vera. Right. All of my friends drink it, because your immune system will be so strong. You can get on an elevator with 10 people, they can all sneeze. You won't catch nothing. Right. That's how this is. I mean, the powers that be, all right? I mean, the greater power gave us the wisdom to know what to do.
Exactly.
So, I can shake his hand. I ain't worried about catching nothing from anybody, because I was given the wisdom to know what to do with the aloe vera.
Right.
So get it in your body, drink it, pass it on to all your loved ones. You ain't catching nothing, okay? And that's how this is.
And with your immune system being intact, you have to realize the CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, has an article that says anybody that has the corona or whatever, because they got you confused with the name. Now, is it COVID or is it corona? You will have 98% recovery from it. This is from the CDC. This is the government agency. This is whoever the general medical doctor is, whatever his name is. Right. They're saying they're giving you a lot of disinformation to continue the fear factor. But right. Don't be afraid. Use your discernment. And the other thing is they're telling you how to try to avoid contact with it, but they're not trying to tell you how to build your immune system. They're not giving you any remedies for you to be well and be in a state of high-level wellness. Right. So, like I say, the aloe vera works for me. It's working for him. And our immune systems are 100%. So think about it, investigate it. You spend enough time on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. Right. Okay, pull up some Wikipedia. Pull up some things that's going to educate your mind.
That's right.
And get you to a point to where you can discern for yourself, so we can get through this. And we do not have to be together apart. We can be together.
That's right. And back to the aloe for a second. Look, this aloe vera cuts fat. We got an obesity problem in this country that is, my God, it's off the chain. I got a buddy. He sells the aloe, and he going to the post office so much. I mean, he got the UPS and the FedEx coming to pick it up because he knows what's going on. He's a scientist. He's my friend, and he making plenty of money because it cuts fat and it makes the immune system so strong you won't even believe it, right?
Right.
So that's how it is. And practice love. Stop looking at this color thing, black and white, and the Asian people. We're all one. We're a human species. Let's practice love. Forget about this administration, what they're trying to do. You know those federal agents that went to Portland and Chicago and all that? They weren't federal agents.
No, we don't know who they are.
No, well, they come from the KKK. That's where they came from because they ain't got no ID, nothing. You know, these are the homies, boys. All right? So these mayors that said, no, we don't need you here, they tell the truth. They don't need them.
Right.
So,
but they sent them in. The other thing is, they didn't let you know that they had gone to a group of those radical guys with automatic weapons and weapons. Right. They went to a government building somewhere. I think it was Cleveland or someplace. It's in the news feed.
Right.
And not much was said about it. And they did not send any federal agents to protect the building. And they're talking about the protesters in Portland, that they have to send such strong reinforcements for people that are standing in front of a building, not seizing any buildings. But these people, they went to the federal building, it was back east, and they had guns, they had Confederate flags, and they had the swastika flag.
Yes.
And and there was no federal troops in there to intervene.
None.
And they were able to have their way with that particular government here in the United States, and they posed a threat because they were armed to the teeth.
That's right.
The protesters, they might have posters and different signs to say different things, but they were not armed, and they didn't attack the police.
It's a peaceful protest.
Exactly.
You know, which we are allowed to do. But anyway, look, we're going to sign off, but go vote and stop looking at this color thing. Aloha.